Coming up in today's episode, we attempt to engine swap this blown up E46 Clubsport in less than 24 hours. And as part of an extra challenge, we're also going to attempt to manual swap it within the same time frame. So sit back and enjoy the chaos whilst I sweat it out in 32 degrees worth of English summer heat and try and get this all done before this timer reaches 0. Genuinely.
It's been a fan, you just start the thing.
And for those of you that are new around here, my name's Jason, this is the WDS Originals YouTube channel, and we build some pretty crazy BMWs. So if that's your thing, be sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure you stay up to date with all of our builds. For now, let's get back to this Clubsport. Now those of you that have watched the previous episodes will know that I bought this car with a slight misfire, hoping that it was going to be an easy fix. I actually had every intention of raffling this so that one of you guys at home could win this car. However, that's not quite gone to plan. We took the spark plugs out of this car and found they looked like this, which then meant we had to do a compression test and found out that this engine is down on compression. We also put a borescope down there to see just how bad it was, and that engine is pretty much toast. So faced with two options, either rebuild that engine or buy a replacement, I decided for the latter. I went to go and see a good friend of mine, Nick Jupp, and if you've been in the E46 scene in the UK for a while, you'll most definitely have heard of Nick. Nick owns this company called German Car Spares, based out of Kent, and he is known for supplying top quality E46 parts and also some pretty solid advice. Now when it came to my situation in the Clubsport, he recommended that I bought just a straight engine, but also to increase the value of this car, to manual swap it. Now given there's a supposed only 600 of these Clubsports ever made, and the majority of them being auto, we reckon a manual's got to be worth more. Now do bear in mind that I've also got to film and edit this entire process within the same time frame. So without further ado, I guess it's time for me to start that timer and get smashing through this car. I guess I should probably put these Crocs in sport mode and get this car up in the air. So the first thing we needed to do was get this entire front end off, which included removing the front bumper, all the headlights, and also that slam panel. Once that was out of the way, we could drain the coolant and start addressing some of the ancillaries and detaching things like wiring harnesses. Next up was to go underneath the car and continue draining fluids. We needed to split the power steering fluid and also detach the gearbox coolers. Once this was all done, we could then carry on. Right, that's the front end done. How long? Hour. It's getting hot. Gearbox time. It's very small. Not happy. What? Are you filming me? And just over 2.5 hours later, this engine was now on the floor. And as you can see, we've got the new engine in front of us here, which was actually missing a few ancillaries. Now that's no fault of Nick's, that is actually myself being a bit tight. I negotiated a better deal with Nick by not including certain things like the exhaust headers, so I did actually cause myself a little bit of extra work as I had to swap these parts from the old engine to the new engine. So we started with the headers and then moved on to things like the wiring harness and also the alternator and power steering pump. Right, I think that's pretty much all I can do for a bit. It's too hot, I'm hungry, and I think we're, what are we, 3 hours in? So, for 3 hours, I think that'll do. I'm gonna go and get some lunch. And whilst eating, I smashed out some editing. Update for you, we are 5 minutes 26 into editing a video. We are 5 hours in on the clock. I don't know why that's not focusing. There you go, 5 hours in on the clock almost exactly. The new engine has got all the manifolds and everything ready to go. The old engine is sat here. The crane is still attached, so we need to swap that over. And the shell currently needs quite a bit of work doing. So as you can see, we've still got the auto shifter line hanging down, the auto prop. So I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes getting the pedal box in, taking the old prop off, putting the new clutch line in, and getting this shell ready for the manual transmission 330 engine that we're going to be putting in this, hopefully a little bit later on this afternoon. So let's get cracking. It's too hot for this. I know what would be a great idea. Let's start a YouTube channel on a business that revolves around building bloody cars in 35 degrees worth of heat. Oh, I hate E46s. Right. Just nearly get out. Thank God for that. Right, pedal box. Get this done, shall we? There's going to be a lot of swearing under this one. Now, given the heat in my potty mouth, I decided it was best we chuck this one on a time lapse. You can see here that I'm removing the standard single brake pedal and replacing that with a brake and clutch pedal. As you can see, there's plenty of space under here, but it's a bit of an awkward angle to work at, hence why this took a few minutes. But eventually we had this all done. Shifter linkage is now in, pedal box is also in. We have got to do the wiring and coding for all of this and put all the trims back on, but I'm not going to put the trims on until it is obviously wired and coded. Time wise, we're doing very well. Engine and box is now a complete package ready to go, and in here we're getting on well as well. As I say, we've got the shifter linkage in, props now removed. I want to give it a bit of a tidy up so that it's nice in there, ready for that new engine. And then we can finally scrap this heap. Now, whilst making space and getting rid of that scrap engine, we were actually treated to a solar eclipse. Now, this is something that happens very rarely, so it did take a moment to admire, but the camera doesn't quite do it justice. What it did, however, do is make it quite eerie and play with some of the lighting for the next few clips. It was weird because it was still daylight, but it was getting a bit dark in the garage. Whilst I was moving this engine around, the solar eclipse happened, and then eventually we came back to more daylight. It was really quite odd. That being said, we couldn't focus on that too much as that timer was still ticking. Now, we'd done the easy part, but the hard part was always going to be installing this and getting everything working. So although we're ahead of schedule currently, we've actually still got quite a lot to do, especially when you think I've also got to do all this editing. There we have it then, guys. We are just over 8 hours in, and realistically we've still got plenty to do, but I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. So after yesterday's short but very successful day on the Clubsport, it's time to hit go again on that timer. And with that timer now counting back down, we can install this braided clutch line. Now, Nick did supply the original hard line, but obviously refitting this hard line is a bit of a pain. So what we have here is a braided replacement hose. Now, with this being braided and very flexible, I can run this whichever route I wish. So I don't necessarily have to take out the lower half of the dash and the carpet in order to run this through down to the gearbox. So one end of this goes on the pedal box and the other is going to attach to the slave. is really annoying me.
Oh, that's the auto.
I hate brake fluid. I think I need to go back to Think Automotive and get a different fitting.
Yeah.
Because the one that I have here is wrong.
Let's go.
That means the timer's going to stay running whilst we're fucking an hour and a bit away. Right, let's get that out of here. What's the timer saying? Oh, it's not looking good. Now, knowing that this challenge would be pretty much over if we didn't go and get that part, we had no choice but to head down to Think Automotive and go and get the relevant fitting. And once we were back, we looked at that timer and realised that it had cost us quite a bit of time. Thankfully, I had a spare set of hands in the form of a Danny, but I don't actually know whether this was helpful or a hindrance.
Why are you calling it dash free?
Just dash free is what it is.
I don't know, like 13 minutes.
Shut up, Danny.
Well, I just pressed the button on the computer, it's fucking fucked the video.
No, you haven't.
I think white shoes is a braided club.
I'll be nice to you today. Just look after you. I'll babysit you.
I don't actually know why I wore white shoes. What do I need babysitting with?
You need babysitting 24/7, boy.
With what?
Oh,
I'm a loose cannon, isn't it, mate?
Loose cannon,
Do what I
boy.
want when I want.
Loose cannon, listen to you. Right, clutch line done. I need to now do the fuel line and
Right,
that
let me do something.
vacuum hose.
Bored.
What did you say?
Let me do something. I'm bored.
Now, in order to cure Danny's boredom, I decided to put him to work and started smashing through this front end. And to be fair, the pair of us managed to get this back together pretty damn quick. Now, next up came sorting that clutch, and this was also a two-person job. So credit where credit's due, I probably couldn't have done this without Danny. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Happy?
Yeah, it's a heavy clutch. Yeah, feel it, like genuinely.
Ain't a heavy clutch, what are you on about?
It's a heavy clutch.
Mate, you're just used to brand new cars. You fucking used to little 1 litre Peugeots. Fucking hell.
Fire up then.
We've got to wire it up yet?
Can I put the front end on it?
No! Fuck you.
That's not hurrying up, is it?
Same thing. When you tell me you're going to put the front end on or what?
I didn't say that.
It is.
I'm just keen beans for you.
King bean. So we've got 10, what is it, 10 and a half hours yet?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
I'm going to have a 10-minute break. And after that break, it was time to do the wiring. We needed to wire up the clutch switch and also tell this car that it was no longer auto. And this meant running some wires from the DME box back to inside the car.
What are you doing, you bastard?
Got him. With Danny now distracted and having a snooze, I was able to crack on and get all this wiring finished. I also took the reverse lights from the original loom so that they would work once we'd done all the coding. Now, the coding process is pretty complex and I'm not going to bore you guys with it, but we managed to go through this with both NCS Expert and also a bit of INPA. I'm pretty sure that's all the wiring done, mate, to be fair. Should we give it a go?
Mm-hmm.
Should probably check it's got oil in it. I'm sure it has. Could you imagine?
Oh, no. Oh, it's pissing out.
No, it's not.
Yeah, look.
You wanker. You probably got me with that. Look. Dead now. Wait, genuinely.
It's been a fanny just start the thing.
Ready? And with this now successfully started, it was time to start rebuilding the entire front end. And one thing that really annoyed me was these clouded headlights. So I also spent a bit of time sorting that out as well. In the process, I did damage the indicator, hence the tape, as I'm gluing it back together. There we go then, guys. Quick little update. Danny's just gone home. I'm finishing off here, putting all the trims and everything back in this engine bay. I've also fitted the original airbox, which in my opinion is much nicer. But that garage is definitely a bit of a bomb site. The sun's going down, so we've got a few hours left. I'm gonna have a quick little tidy up, and then we're gonna focus on editing and also getting all these trims and everything back together. As we head inside the car, you'll see what I mean. I'm still yet to install any of these trims, so we need to put all of this back together, and make sure that this car is ready to go. So I have just spent the last 45 minutes or so tidying the garage and uploading clips to the computer so that we can continue editing. But before I sit and edit for hours, I just want to get these last few bits installed and also pressure bleed that coolant system and top up any existing fluids. Now you can obviously manually bleed these cars up, but a pressure bleeder pretty much ensures that you've got no airlocks. So I always like to do a pressure bleed, just so that I've got the peace of mind that this is done properly. So that should now be the coolant system done, and we'll run this up to temperature and just confirm that everything's good with that. Open those doors because otherwise it's going to get very hot in here, but hopefully that will bleed up nicely. And we've got just under 5 hours to get all this editing done and the last few bits finished. So we're just going to make sure that this actually gets up to temperature, doesn't overheat, doesn't mess about. And whilst that's doing so, I'm going to install all the gear shifter and all the gator and make this thing pucker. So there we have it, guys, up to temperature, all the gear shifter and everything all reinstalled. Timer wise, we are on 4:56, so it's pretty good going. We've got just under 5 hours to sit and edit, and there's plenty of editing to do, believe me. Now, as I sat here and continued to edit for the next hour or so, it soon dawned on me that I should probably shuffle some cars round. I needed to get the Clubsport out of the garage and bring in the high mileage Hero E46 M3 ready for tomorrow's VIP guests. And I guess if you want to know a little bit more about this high mileage Hero or my VIP guests, well, you're going to have to tune in next week. I want to thank you all for watching today's video, and I'm going to go and finish the last 3 hours worth of editing and fingers crossed have this all done so that you guys can enjoy the content. Once again, a massive thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.